Imagine spending millions on product development, packaging, and marketing, only to watch everything collapse because of a single label. Not a product defect, not a safety recall, just one incorrect barcode. In today's video, we're breaking down how this tiny detail triggered the total failure of a new product launch, wasting shelf space, straining retail relationships, and burning through millions in projected revenue. Before we dive in, hit subscribe to Process Flow for real stories from inside food factories, logistics chains, and distribution networks, the places where billion-dollar decisions succeed or fail. What went wrong? The incident. In the early 2010s, a major UK-based food manufacturer launched a new sub-range of health-focused drinks into the market. The product looked promising, eye-catching packaging, a strong marketing campaign, and shelf space secured in top-tier supermarkets. Everything was lined up for a successful rollout. But as soon as the product hit stores, problems started to surface. Retail staff began reporting that the bottles wouldn't scan at checkout. In some stores, the barcode pulled up a completely different item. In others, the system didn't recognize it at all. What began as a seemingly minor tech issue quickly turned into a retail nightmare. Entire pallets were returned, POS systems rejected the listings, and customers couldn't complete purchases, even with the product right in front of them. The function of a barcode, why it matters. So why did one wrong barcode cause so much damage? Because a barcode isn't just a sticker, it's the product's entire digital identity in a retail system. When scanned, it tells the system exactly what the product is, how much it costs, how many units are in stock, when to reorder, and where it belongs in the warehouse. If that data is incorrect, or if the barcode points to a discontinued item, everything unravels. Scanning errors lead to mismatched pricing, incorrect sales data, rejected deliveries, and mass confusion across supply chains. The root cause: an invisible error. Here's what really happened. The barcode assigned to the new drink range had already been used years earlier for a completely different product that had since been discontinued. But in the retailer systems, that old barcode still existed and was still linked to the original item. Internally, the packaging team had reused the barcode, assuming it was inactive, but no one revalidated it with the retailer's databases. That oversight triggered chaos. Every scan led to system errors. Retailers couldn't reorder stock. The system flagged it as discontinued. Automatic replenishment stopped cold. Even worse, some tills displayed the old product's name, sparking concerns over mislabeling and damaging trust instantly. If this breakdown's hitting home, tap that like button. It helps more people learn from behind-the-scenes mistakes that cost millions. And drop a comment if you've ever spotted a barcode fail or mislabeled product on the shelves. We'd love to hear your story. Chain reaction: how it all fell apart. What followed was a brutal chain reaction. Retailers yanked the product off shelves. Distribution centers started rejecting shipments, and automated return systems kicked in, sending back entire pallets. Within 2 weeks, nearly 80% of the launch stock was either returned or trashed. Meanwhile, the marketing engine was in full swing. Ads were running, influencers were posting, and online buzz was growing. But in-store, customers couldn't find the product, and if they did, they couldn't buy it. Confusion turned to frustration. Complaints flooded in. The brand had to refund marketing partners, credit retailers, and pull the entire campaign. The financial hit: over £2 million lost in projected revenue for that quarter alone. Retailers blacklisted the item, labeling it non-compliant for scan and sale. Just like that, a high-potential product line was dead on arrival. Not an isolated case. It's more common than you think. Barcode-related failures happen more often than you'd think. In one case, a global frozen food brand had 40,000 units rejected by a major supermarket because the barcodes were printed too faintly, making them unreadable at checkout. In another, a cosmetics company had their entire European launch blocked because their barcode format didn't meet EU scanning standards. According to GS1, the global authority on barcode standards, up to 25% of product listings submitted to retailers contain errors in barcode data, formatting, or linking. This isn't just a back-end tech hiccup, it's a frontline threat to brand credibility, retail relationships, and business continuity. The human error factor. What makes this case especially tragic is how easily it could have been prevented. The barcode itself wasn't wrong, it was simply reused without proper cross-checking. It was a human error, driven by internal pressure, breakdowns in communication between teams, and the absence of one critical step: final scan validation. In fast-paced product rollouts, where deadlines are tight and multiple departments are involved, these kinds of slip-ups can quietly slip through until the damage is already done. And this wasn't a rookie brand. This was a major, experienced manufacturer with established supply chain systems. But even the biggest operations can fail if their systems aren't fully aligned, because sometimes all it takes is one barcode to bring everything crashing down. Prevention. How to avoid this mistake. So, how can companies avoid falling into the same barcode trap? Here are 6 key controls that could have saved this product line. Firstly, never reuse a barcode without full deactivation and clearance through GS1. Even if it looks inactive internally, it might still be live in the retail systems. Secondly, run barcode scan tests on production samples using multiple POS systems before launch. Just because it scans in-house doesn't mean it will scan everywhere. Thirdly, verify data mapping with retailers, especially if your product range shares a history with previous SKUs. Legacy codes can cause legacy problems. Next, integrate barcode validation into both artwork approval and final quality assurance sign-offs. Design and packaging teams need to be looped in, not just supply chain. Number 5, adopt centralized barcode management software to track usage, flag duplicates, and manage barcode lifecycle history across departments. And finally, even something as simple as a handheld barcode scanner can act as a frontline defense. A quick pre-shipment scan could have exposed the error early. Final reflection: why it matters. This wasn't a quality issue. After all, the drink tasted great. The packaging, premium, the marketing was on point, and shelf space was already secured. But all of it came crashing down because of one silent error: a reused barcode. In the age of automation and retail digitization, invisible technical details carry massive weight. It's a brutal reminder: your product is only as strong as the data behind it. If this breakdown opened your eyes, subscribe to Process Flow for more deep dives into the factory and logistics world, where small oversights can have million-dollar consequences. Drop a comment if you want us to cover more factory fails or product launch disasters. Until next time, scan smart and never underestimate the smallest details.